Hello, ladies. How are you today? It's Melody here, and I am going to play around as usual on Wednesdays with my jelly plate. And let's see what we can create today. So I'm trying to figure out what might be best. So here's my rolling off book. I brought out a new one, so now we've got plenty of pages to work with. I used up my other book. I have a bunch of paints here, but I thought I would start out by playing with the Distress Oxides. I just got these. I had not worked with them before, and I'm enjoying them. And I thought, what the heck? Let's do it together. Hi, Donelda. Oh, good. Screen good and I sound good. Thank you so much, sweetie. That really helps me. So I'm trying to make sure and get any oxide off the bottom because I want it to all be in there. This one is Forest Moss. And I'm not sure why the camera shows things backwards. It's just the way it is when I use this way of getting in. Hi, Dorcas. How is everybody? This one is tea dye. This one is scattered straw. And I haven't even opened this one. I've definitely got to do that so that I don't. But let's play around with this while we're waiting for people to show up and get a feel for it. I have played around with it a little bit and I've really enjoyed it. So wilted violet, tea dye, scattered straw, forest moss, and I would have sworn that there was another one, and I don't know if it fell behind or what happened, but I no longer have 5. I have 4, so let's work with that, right? I'll find the other one someday. Someday. So let's play around with our stencils. These are the other parts of the alphabet stencils that I like to work with. And what it is it was a long stencil for like a wall, right? Decorating stencil. And I cut it to have more of a decorative edge and smaller pieces so that I could do what I wanted. All right. So I'm going to press that down on there. Press that down on there. And now we have this combination. And I think I'm going to start with the lighter one, which is the scattered straw, and see what we think. Okay, so now I have only worked with these minimally, and so we'll just see. But that kind of gives me a scattered straw all over, and then I'll just, in pieces, come in with the tea dye, right? And then we'll get into the green and purple. Oh, I'm glad you like them. It was just, you know how you can buy in the stores long stencils, like for walls, like the border of your wall. And that's what this was. Here's the purple. Oh, it is awesome. I'm going to try not to go crazy with it because I do want to get more of a green look, because I was thinking about adding this little print here to my green. Let's see if we can do it. Okay. Anyways, we'll see what we end up with. We're going to see what we end up with. Then we'll make a plan about doing something more, detailed, like an envelope or something. But let's see what this does with this stencil. Oh, I'm loving it. But yeah, the stencil was long and I just cut it up, tried to do a wavy edge on it so that it would, oh my goodness, ladies, look at that. Look at that. Now the purple probably doesn't really fit in there that well, at least not the way that I did it, but I do think the rest of the colors made a really beautiful color. And then check out this oxide right here. Do you see that? How awesome is that? Okay, so let's do it again, but this time we'll leave out the purple. Maybe we'll leave out a couple things. Maybe we'll just do the scattered straw and the mossy. We'll go kind of in a stripy flow. All right, we'll try that, and we'll do it on envelopes. Well, I have 2 envelopes, so we'll do it on 2 envelopes. How's that sound? Does that sound like it will work? Hi, Minka. How are you? All righty, so this is Gelli Arts plate. I'm going to grab that and put it to where I get it on the back of my envelopes, because you guys know how I like to do that. Right? Isn't that pretty? Wow. I might want to put something else on there just to grab up, because I could use it for stenciling or something, right? So I'm going to do this. I don't want to waste any of that. And I don't want to waste this on my brayer. Oh, that is so pretty. I love oxidized. Hi, I am happy. Yay. Yay. All righty, ladies. Let's see what we end up with on here, which was just the leftovers around it. But look at the collaging I could do with that, or layering with junk journal pages, or I don't know. You guys know as well as I do. There's so many different things. Oh, wow. Wow, Dorcas. What do you think? Steampunky? Think we could make that feel steampunky? Isn't that funny? Steampunky. I'm going to try to grab a little bit more because this is just a little bit lighter than what I would like it, which makes it just look like it's didn't get as much as it should. And so there. Wow. Okay, well, that was fun. We warmed up with some oxide inks. Now I could stamp on top of this. I really like that. That is going to be fun. So we have this one, these two, and then this overflow that we wanted to pick up, because that would have been a lot to waste if I hadn't picked it up. And even this here is really pretty. Layering, you guys. Yes, I do, Dorcas. That's why I thought, doesn't that just feel steampunky? And then you could put the vintage lace on there and layer up with cogs or images. Oh my goodness. I think that's a really good combination. Okay, so I'm going to set those aside. And that was fun, but I'm going to move on. Take these off. They may get used again, and I don't even mind that there's still oxide on there. It will add to my next project, whatever that is. And then look, ladies, I have an image on my board that I can work with. Look at that. Can you see that? For the kitsch of it, it's Erna. Oh, layering. That is what we need in everything we do, isn't it? Whether it's fabric, paint, paper, inks, all of it. Layering, layering, layering. I'm not sure why that one isn't fitting properly, but it isn't. Okay, so I'm going to set those up. So this was the Distress Oxide Spray, and I had the 4 colors here, and I used them together once and then separately a couple of times. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put some colors on here and just see what we end up with, right? So I'm going to add this color of green because it's going to go with what we have on there. This is called Wild Wasabi. Oh, Dorcas says she had gotten, oh, hi, Chris. Dorcas had gotten the embossing folder that has the gears. Oh my goodness. Couldn't you imagine embossing the paper and then distressing it with oxides and making them look aged and corroded? That is so cool. So there we go. We've got this beautiful green on here, which I want to show you an image that I did yesterday that had this green in it that really, by the time I was done and I was cleaning off my plate, check that out. As far as the background, that's fun. That is fun. So I'm kind of wanting to stay in the realm of what I did yesterday because I want to put it on top of. Okay, so here, let me tell you. I got so excited and ahead of myself. This is what it looks like when I originally break it down from having crackers in it, right? Then I cut off the edges. Let's do this, right? And it looks like this. Then I cut off these edges and it looks like this. So what you have here is a already made, I'm going to do this one into a art journal. So I'm going to leave the spine thick, but I also prepared this one to have a 1-inch spine. Okay. So I started doing some yesterday. I won't show you them because they're on the other side of the room, but that's what I want to work on. And while I'm doing this and showing you and telling you, that's letting my paint dry a little bit, just so you know. So I'm going to come in with some very aged and old, which will probably leave paint on my plate, and that's okay because it's a party and all the people who want to come to the party can come, and if those little paint spots and dried bits want to, they can. So now from here we have, so we've broken that up a little bit. We have a layer underneath, that's the distress oxide. We don't know how much that will show up. If it shows up, great. If it doesn't, it's okay. We have the wasabi, wild wasabi, and then we broke that up with the big bubbles, right? So now I think I'm going to bring in this olive green. Olive green. Let's see. This will be a darker color that is a little bit translucent, so it should just add to it without taking over the whole thing, right? Because that's what you got to be careful of. You don't want to take away what you've worked on by adding a layer that completely overrides it. So you see how we got just a little bit of green in there. That's all we really want. That's all I really want. I better be careful because I don't know if I'm talking for all of us. So I also wanted to show you, this is a tinfoil or saran wrap, the center, and I took and wrapped it with washi, glitter washi, so that I would get a texture. And it's not working that well, to be honest with you. It's not working that well. Oh, there we go. There we go. There I got. I had to push it down in the center. Do you see the stripes now? So I was just wanting to test out just another way of creating background noise with household items. I also have this piece of celery root, the root of the celery, which I'm going to try to add in somewhere. I'm going to try to keep it where I can see it. So now we have two different greens. Let's go ahead and bring in the golden yellow if I can find it. That will give us a contrast color. And then we can either go, I don't know, we could go brown. We could go, yeah, that's the thing. So we really could go a lot of directions. It's all going to just depend. But this color will help contrast with what's already in there. There we go. Let's see. Do you see how that's layering up? It doesn't look the same on camera as it does in person. I wish more than anything that we could all just sit down at a table together and you could see it in real life, because I don't know if it's my webcam or the quality of my internet service. I don't know. But if you could see it the way it looks here, it really is better. So we have greens and golds. And so now I've got to decide. Let's go ahead and add a deeper toned color. This is earth brown. And I'm going to break this up just a little bit more. In fact, what we'll do is, because we love them, is we'll bring in some letters, right? We just set that down. Then we grab another piece of paper. And I set it on there lightly, and I just push where the letters are. See that? You see how it came up right just where the, hi, Deb. Woohoo! It's a party. So we got that now, and then I'm going to just do that over the whole thing where I want them. And you're just lightly pressing, because you don't want it to be the focal. You're doing background noise. Right? Background noise is not what stands out in the front. I guess I make more backgrounds than I do, you know, something with a, I don't know. There we go. You see that? Those spots there. Now we come in with the brown and see what we end up with. This will be a little bit, actually, you know what? I'm going to be honest with you. I'm going to do this the way that I would normally do it, because I think it will blend better, and then we'll go to darker colors after this. But I'm going to bring this up with a cream, because I think that it will complement and create a better background than if I went with a darker color and then pulled it up with white. That's what's been happening to me, is if I go with a darker color, then I pull it up with white paper, I just end up with something I'm not really happy with, because there's so many lights and darks. And it's blotchy. That's the word I'm looking for. Whereas if I do it with these lighter colors like this, then it doesn't look as blotchy. It looks a little bit more. Oops. Come on. Thank you. Oh, is that metallic white? No, that is Ceramcoat Ivory. But I can bring in metallics here soon. I just kind of got this one flowing, and I felt like I was on a roll, and I didn't want to lose what I had already on the plate if I could. So I was just kind of going off that information, right? But here we go. Oh my goodness. See, these are the kind of backgrounds that I use for my digitals. You see that depth? that contrast, but yet you don't see a lot of white blotches. I don't know what it is about the darker colors that I use that I just can't get that full look to it the way I like it. I don't see necessarily the oxide, except for possibly the oxide might be these darker colors here. That might have oxidized, but it's a beautiful print, especially in person. Oh my goodness. Just very creamy and earthy, maybe a oh, what would you call it? Maybe a botanical background. So I'm just going to use up my paint like I always do. Get it on there. Muss it up. Create our first images that we'll be layering up on this, like I said, and it's a little dried up, but I'm excited to use it. And I'm just going to go all over the place. Sometimes I'll put them together, sometimes I won't. But I'm gonna see if I can try not to do like straight lines because I'm really bad. Okay, so this is a celery root. I had made a homemade soup the other day and I left it sit there thinking, okay, when I go do it, I'm gonna use this, and I did. I think I could use this size too. It might be a little sharp. I don't know if I would use it. Anyway, so there's that on top of there, right? So let's, just for the fun of it, I know you guys are always looking for a little bit more drastic color combinations, but this I think would look good with the print of the celery. Oh, come on. There we go. This is blush pink. And we can deepen up from there. But with this creamy color, and if there was any of those greens left on there, it'll be a really pretty pastel, springy look. Okay, so there's that. Now we can come in with anything from bubble wrap. This is the smaller one. Muss that up a bit. All right. Okay. We could do our letters again. Probably won't see. We'll have to probably do the probably have to do those celery thing again to get them to really show. But the letters just seem to add something to it that I really have been enjoying. And the more I do of something, then I can actually put it together as a kit. So that's why when I find something I like, you'll find I kind of stick with it until I get enough that it's, you know, enough pages to work together, I guess is what I'm thinking. So let's come back in with this. Get some really good prints of that in these places that we have a lot of paint. I'd like to see what it looks like pulled up because I don't know. I haven't used this. I've used other things. Okay, so there we go. Now, let's bring this up. What color do we want to? Do we want to stay with the creamy feel? I think I might, just for the rest of this poll. So let's bring out antique white. And go over this. The cool thing about this is it blends with the green, with the cream, with the pink, and it just makes a very, I got to get those lines. I got to get out of the habit of doing 3 lines. That's what I got to do. I got to just do odd lines that don't look so blotchy because that really is bothering me. Let's do this on this envelope that I gessoed because I wanted to reuse it. Okay. I hate to waste these things. So I gessoed it, and I knew that I could put acrylic over the top of that, and I should have a pretty good base. Let's see. Deb says, I forgot my dictionary yesterday. I forgot I was getting it. Love it. Oh, good. Oh, good. It is fabulous. That's a really beautiful book. I was so glad that you had gotten it. It was hard for me to give up, but I have a bit of a dictionary collection. Atlases and dictionaries are kind of my thing. Oh, look. It's not as bright on screen. It's a little bit brighter on in person, but it's a really beautiful blended background. Okay, so let's go from here and get a little bit more drastic. First off, let's muss this up a bit to where we don't have that really strong lines right there, if I can, or at least make it to where it comes back into it as part of it, and then we'll start to go darker. I do love the light colors. I don't know, maybe it's this time of year, you think? Do you think maybe it's the time of year? So that's creamy and pink. Let's let's go crazy. You guys are always, I hope this isn't leaking. But let's just bring in a little bit of this indigo. I think it's indigo. Indigo. And this is the golden high flow acrylic. Very pigmented, very intense, and very messy if I get it on me, which I usually do. Okay, so let's see. Remember, we're just adding this to what we've already got there. We're not trying to take over it. We're just trying to say, hey, why don't you guys get married or something? I don't know, at least date. Could you date for a while? Yeah. And then we have that. So then we got to go over this, and we've got to muss it up a bit, whatever we're doing. Whatever direction we're going to go, whether we're going to use the letter stencils or we're going to use the diamonds. We just got to get a little bit more layers going. So remember, we have a light layer underneath there. Then we came in with the dark, and now I can see through there again, which means I need to put another color on there. And so we have light pinks, which is going to kind of take us to a purple with that blue. So, oh gosh, I'm just wondering if I want to bring in a little bit of neon green and see how that plays with the family here. So now I'm not going to put it all over. In fact, I'm going to stop making those direct lines that I've been doing. I don't like it. And I definitely want this to get over the areas that I can see through the plate, because that means there's no paint there. And I want some paint to layer in. Okay, so now we've got not lime green, but neon green. It was the closest thing I could find to lime green. Dorcas says that's exactly what I was thinking for your Joy of Blue. Mixing that with baby pink you had there, it's going to come out amazing. Yeah, except for now I threw the green in, but then that's the cool thing about this is that I can, we're having a Joy of Color challenge in the group. So, and this is an iridescent medium. I need to figure out how to incorporate that a little bit. So we have blue, we have green, we have pink, and let's pull it off with, I'm trying to think, maybe a gray or a tan. I think I'm going to do the sand dune. I've done that before. It deepens it up. I kind of like it, but you know, it's all hit and miss sometimes. Sometimes I'll do a decision like this and I'll be like, oh, I'm so glad I did that. That was awesome. And other times I'll be like, eh. And you know, the print, the whole thing is permanent because you're done. You can't redo it, but you can never get it exactly the way it was. But that's what makes this kind of exciting, actually. Okay, so this actually kind of, to me, you guys, looks like the planet from the moon. Alrighty. So this only had dots. We didn't do letters. We didn't do diamonds. We didn't do squares. So let's just see with minimal. Oh, it had, didn't it have some of the celery? Sorry about the camera. There we go. Didn't it have the celery in there? Which, let's see what if we can see. No, not enough paint on there. Maybe I can look at there, guys. We could even add this to a project afterwards. Not cute. I'm twisting it. Let's see. If I don't twist it, it looks like that. If I twist it, it looks like that. Oh, I like that. That's cool. Okay. Who would have thought? Celery stalk, right? Who would have thought? Okay, so let's see. And this just goes to show you what you start out doing will not look anything like the end if you, you know, make certain decisions. All right. Remember how I used to always pull everything up with the, it's a little blotchy, and that's what I don't like, but I think it's going to be okay. There we go. So the tan, this is the, well, it's a little bit of the pink and the tan. And I think that's why I gravitated towards the tan, because I knew that pink was in the front. But look at that green pop out. That is fun. Okay, I'm going to lay that one back behind me. So now I've got just a little bit of blue on here. Let's start going darker and see where we end up I'm not sure. Every time, I'm telling you, I'm trying to get my technique better. I definitely feel confident and comfortable working with light colors. Darker colors, I don't know that I get the effect that I'm looking for, the depth. So I use them as contrast instead of the focal. So maybe we can try this and this will help. Maybe. So let's see. We got bubbles. Let's see if I can do it like that. So this is a stamp that I just got. I was so excited to get it. That is bubbles. And then I have this one, which I'll use in a bit, which is little wispy things. Do I always have to use a roller, or can I use like a sponge to apply your paint? Just wondering if it has to be. It does not have to be a roller. Does not at all. In fact, sponges, I've used cellophane like this, push it into there, and then I have, let's see, I don't want to mess up my, and then add some layers that way. But as far as your base, putting your base on there, you can definitely use sponges. There's paint brushes. I've used paint brushes. There's a lot of different ways. Okay, so let's see. I am going to try gold in here, do a kind of a deep gold with, or deep blue with gold. See, and I didn't let that dry as much as I should, so I'll probably lose some of my definition on my bubbles, but that's okay. We can always add them again. Always add them again. So we got the gold in there. I can see some of the circles. You can definitely see some. Now the problem, the thing with, you could put your first layer on there with just about anything, but let's say that I want another layer on there and I try to put it on with the paintbrush, I'm just going to move everything around. So that's why, look at that though, I could do this. That's why I am hesitant to use a paintbrush to put my layers on. The roller moves it around without using texture on the base layer. Does that make sense? Look at that little flowerette though. That's cool. Okay, so now we've done that. There's definitely got to be some drying going on here. Dry, 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 dry. I'm wondering, I was thinking about bringing this back in, because I don't know, like I'm just trying things that I haven't done before to try to get, like using my instincts of what I've been doing with the other colors to try to get, oh, I just messed up everything. That's okay though. I can put them back in if I want. Put them back in. I can do anything, right? Put them in there right on top of those blues so that they smear up a little bit and aren't quite so, I'm just twisting it. But yeah, it's very liquidy right now. So I think the best thing to do, in my opinion, is to try to get some of the paint up. And to do that, usually I put something down and then I try to pull paint up. And while I'm doing that, a lot of times the rest of the paint will dry up a bit. Yeah, there's a lot of paint on there. I put too much gold on there. That's okay though. So there's some letters. And put some dots just in certain places. I still see a couple swirls. I see some letters. And now, if I don't let that dry, it's just going to all smear together. So let's chat about it. I could put away a couple of paints that I'm not using and jibber jabber about this, because what's happening is if I don't let that dry and I go and roll even black on it, let's say I want to do black because I think that would really bring everything else out, it's just going to smear my lines. And so that's why I am hesitant. But here's the black. Look at Deb. I bought a big old black. And I found my smaller one. So I have plenty of black. We'll pull this up with black just to have fun. See what we can end up with. We have the blue and the gold. I don't know that there's anything that I would want to add to it. I don't think red would help. I don't know that the lime green, that's just me though, because I was trying to, because I'm doing the hashtag collab. A lot of times when something is so wet, I will just go around and keep adding things or pull away paint so that it gives majority of the time, but yet I'm still, you know, working with it, concentrating on it, fussing with it. And I think what I want to try to do, which I don't know will help it at all, but I was thinking about pulling it up on this and trying to make it the cover of my art journal, or at least the inside cover if I don't like it much, right? Because that happens too. Could be that I just don't love it. So saran wrap, plastic wrap, all that stuff, wrapping papers, tissue papers, just put it down, press it, lift it up, leaves texturized. I bought 2, I thought it was 2, but I don't know if you guys know me very well, but once you do, you'll know that I lose everything. I lose it. It's gone. It could be gone forever sometimes, but this is the only one I'm seeing, but I did buy 2. Fiery red multi-surface glitter acrylic paint. And I'm really excited. Someday you should try a scarlet red or reddish purple with the green. Yeah, let's do that, because that's why I bought 2 new reds for you, Deb. I bought, yes, because that's just that. I think that is as much a color preference as it is, you know, your eye. This is a Tuscan red. I couldn't find scarlet, so I was hoping that one of these would be close enough. But I bought the 2 new reds, the 2 new greens, and then the black. And so, but I'm just jabbering to let this dry. It's still a little damp, but I'm just going to go ahead. We'll get what we get, ladies. We will get what we get, and we'll like it. I'm going to tell myself I'll like it no matter what. Okay, so I'm going to pull this up with black. Oh, this is a nice black too. Look at that. And I'm going to bring these lines down this way and see if I can try to avoid doing what I was doing. I don't need the whole board. My project that I'm going to pull this up with doesn't need the whole board, but I'm going to do it anyways. And I'm going to set this down. This is the inside, or the cracker box, right? I wanted to share this with people who don't want to gut books and don't know how to create your own book frame, right? Your hardcover or softcover books. So I thought, well, we used to do this a lot. I used to do this a lot. Okay, so I'm just trying to really get it. I want it to saturate and cover it. So I'm pushing. And let's pull it up, see what we get. So I put 2 of them together. Ooh, that's fun. Look at those. Look at that depth and the richness of the gold, and then the blue pops out. Some of the cream. That's cool. I like that. Okay, so I'm going to set that aside, and I'm going to throw red on here. Let's just do it. It's not even open. See, I had to wait for Deb to get here. Yeah, I want to, you know what happens for me is that I experiment a lot, and then once I find something that works, I tend to stick with it. And so once I found some things on the plate, color combinations that I could do bigger projects with, I was so excited, and I just kind of recreate those in different ways. So here's the black and the red together. I don't know if that's scarlet though, but it is a beautiful red. It's a bluish red, which I think scarlet is, isn't it? No, that's not my usual go-to. You should feel important. I'm trying, because you are pushing me. You and a couple other ladies are really pushing me out of my comfort zone, which is great. I need to have that done. I'm going to just lay this down, bring it up, lay it down, bring it up. Now we got a nice broken up, and look how much is on here. Okay, so now, are you thinking purple with this? Were you thinking purple and red together, or the red? Because there's some black. We can put more black in there. There's, we can add green. We can add, which kind of turns Christmassy, and that's another reason why I hesitate towards that combination. What do you think about So are you thinking purples? This is where I get lost right there. Boom, 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 shakalaka. What do I do next? I have red and blackish on there, and I don't know how to make that turn into something that I would scan in or put in on a cover. And I think that's probably my closed mind, where I feel like I have to make something that turns into future work. You know, I've kind of lost my way on my creativity, and I definitely would like to do something about that. So this is perfect. I just don't know. I mean, I can put purple on there. I know there's ways to mix, and then I could add teal, red, and silver. Thank you. Okay, so silver. Let's see. I think that's going to be in the one that's right over here. Found it. Okay, so metallic. Okay, so let's go ahead and put this just randomly. Have it a little bit thicker in some areas, a little bit thinner in others, and see what we end up with. Not the color I was thinking for the green. I would do purple with this and then light purple. Okay, we got the silver in here. We'll get that done, and then we'll see if the purple will work. Okay. Boy, that is maybe, I don't know, you know. But let's do this because I'm not really loving the lines the way they are. Got me out of my comfort zone, that's for sure. And then I'll grab two purples from over here. I've got lavender and light lavender. So the silver with leftover gold. So I should not go with the purple and do with the gold? Or should I add the purple too? Because I can keep going. I can do this all day. Not really. I can do this for about an hour. Okay. So look at this though. How beautiful is that? You see that silver in there with the gold? Or silver with the red. Okay, so purple. Let's get purple in there. It's got a lot of paint on there, so I'm going to put the purple on, and then I'm going to try to find ways to take some paint off. Okay, because right now, if I was even trying to pull it up right now, most of the color, this isn't a very deep purple. So let's try this one, and then we'll go from there. But we're just going to add it just to get. There we go. Okay, so now what I'd like to do is get another, actually let's do this so you can see how pretty just even that is. Isn't that a beautiful roll off right there? I'm going to try to keep that to the side. Okay, so now what I would like to do, if I can find it, which, you know, is always an if, ands, or buts thing. I don't see it. I could use this one, but I wanted to use my triangle thingy that I love so much. And let's pull this one off on this one once we get done. But let's see. I made this, ladies. This is a cardboard piece that is the full size of the board. Instead of, that's my pups, and I apologize for them. They are not well-mannered at all. But I thought that was going to work out much better than putting the stamping motion that I was doing before. So we got some breakage up in there now. And then I really, honestly, what I feel like I need is this. And I found it. Yay. This is what we need. And I'll tell you why. Because you got to break through all of the layers to mesh them together. You see what I'm saying? You see how that broke through all of them? That's how you get your depth. All those layers are there individually. Boom, 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 boom. But now we put on our base layer, pull it all up, and this is what takes us back to the front. This is what brings those colors back to the front. I don't explain it very well. I apologize for that. So now that is really, really wet, and I just almost feel like I don't even need a background color, but let's try just one piece so we can see what it's doing right now. Test the waters a bit to see how much is coming up without even a, yeah, without even the top coat. It's getting kind of muddy though. I'm gonna have to be very careful. Okay, so let's do clear. Let's do the gloss medium. And we'll just do it on paper because I'm not sure if this is going to turn into mud or not. But here's our clear. So when I do this with clear, pull with dark purple. Sure, let me look. Let me look. Let me look. Oh, I have this dark purple. Look at that. Okay, so let's see. I think we might get 2 pulls out of this because of how thick the paint is. So now this is where I end up having my problems. It just looks blotchy if I'm not really careful. I don't want it to look blotchy this time. So I'm going to see what I can do. Although I've been doing this for going on 3 years, I still have my things that I struggle with that I just haven't found the answer for. Uh-oh. Come on, camera. Okay, so there's the dark purple. We have everything else behind it. Let's see. Sounds like you have a great imagination with colors. That's what it sounds like to me. Like I said, I have my stable of colors that I just kind of are go-to because of the things that I do with them afterwards. I tend to just stay in that. But I really do want to get back to where I'm just trying new things all the time. That's why I'm back to Wild Wednesdays. Oh my goodness gracious. Look at that, ladies. Look at that richness. Wow, that red really pops off of that purple, and you can still see the silver in there, but it doesn't make it to where you can't see the design. That is awesome. Okay, so we still have some of that on here. So let's do something the way that I would do it so that you can see the difference. So we pulled it up with the dark purple. Let's now see if I can make even a bigger mess than I've been making. And pull this up with a creamy ivory, and you'll be able to see what I'm talking about with the way that it blends into the background. Oh, I hate that. Why am I always happening to do that same thing with my brayer? Same direction. I just don't want a lot of white to come through. I want to see the cream, not the white. So this is what was left from the really deep. Yeah, the silver does make it, doesn't it? All right. So we'll compare these two. Let's do this because I need to get some paint off so that I can stop making such a mess. Really am making a mess. Really, really and truly. My brayer's making a mess. I'm making a mess. Okay. Ready? Now, that's what it looks like with a lighter background. So here's the dark. And there's the light. Now, the only reason that this matters is because when I'm scanning in, right, this one creates dimension. This one, unfortunately, will look flat. In person, awesome. Collaging, using it in pages in my journals, using it as a cover, using it as backgrounds, awesome. Scanning in, this would be the one that I would be able to use. So that's why I tend to do what I do I'm going to set that aside so it can warm up, or dry out, not warm up. I'm sure it's probably plenty warm. So we have purple down there. Let's get some orange. Let's get crazy again. Bring some orange in. This is just a, I'll show you in just a second, kind of a yellowy orange. It is apricot. Let's see if we can make some more of our textures that we had made. Break up the background, that helps a lot. So we got some of it there, but we don't have it completely flat, right? And then let's get some turquoise, because you get some turquoise, some orange, and then sometimes those reds and purples, and that is awesome too. So let's see what we end up with. All right, we're just going to start flowing things another direction. And then this one now, I'm loving that, you guys. That is so awesome. But watch this. I can take this green gold liquid fluids. Oh, I hate it when I drop. I should just get used to the dried boogers, but it really bugs me. So I'm going to drop this around. And see, and I couldn't have got here without doing what we did. So just remember that when you think, oh, I like that one. The other one was just okay, but I like that one. Well, you had to do that one to get here, right? Makes sense? I hope so. I hope so. So I'm going to do this like that. Oh my gosh, you guys. Good night, Donelda. And never forget the silver. Exactly. I tend to go towards the warmer colors. So that is definitely something I do need to remember, is the silver. I'm going to take this copper color and I'm going to squirt it next to me. And I'm going to put this roly thing that we were using, right? And I'm going to stamp on. This is going to be very grungy. This is going to look like corroded metal. And so I'm going to add some copper circles and try to break up a couple spots. When I see something I'm not really happy with, that's where I go for sure. You know, I add them other places too, but that's where I go for sure, because I want to bust that up a bit. This is going to be stunning, you guys. This is going to be fabulous. I'm going to bring this up with clear so that we can see it in its entirety, just the way it is. If we put another color on there, we will change it. So I'm going to put that there. I'm going to roll this off. Look at this one. I'm going to save this one too. Look at that. See that orange and red and teal? Oh, that's the kind of thing that just I love. Now that is still very, very wet. I almost think I could pull it up without a background color. Let's try. Worst case scenario, we leave some there and we pull it up with a background color, right? So let's try. Oh, goodness. Now, sometimes when I do this and I don't like the white showing through, I will spray it with alcohol inks that I've made. Okay, let's try it. We ready? Just flip it. Oh, you guys, this is so awesome. Thank you, Deb. Look at the red in there. That wouldn't be what it is without that red. Look at that. Oh, that is scrumptious. It really is. Look at that. Wait till I scan that in. You guys, it's going to look fabulous. Oh, I'm so excited. So now we have some green left on there, some circles, some red, all of it still on there, right? So we could do this all over again, only kind of go towards another feel, which would be like, let's put some earthy tones in there, and then we will bring in, let's see if I can grab it from, where is it? I think behind me. No, it's not behind me either. So maybe it's in front of me. Everything that I'm looking for is around here. I just gotta. So let's do this one first. We're gonna do the Azo Gold, Azo Nickel Gold, because this will really go with those colors that we have on there. And this is really thin, so this will just put a light wash over it with that rusty color, right? So now that's on there. So we have all those lines and texture on there. Then we come in with the Azo Gold. I'm going to change my mind about this brown. And I'm going to choose another tealy color. Just got to figure out which one. If I want to go, like I could go Viridian in the thicker, which I think is what I'll try this time. And then I could accent that with, and I have Tahiti Blue, I have Aquamarine, and this one, which I was excited about, which was Patina. So let's see, but let's get this one down first. Yes, Azo and the Verde are something, when I learned them, I was willing to pay the money because they are expensive, but it is fabulous what it adds to your project. It just a depth. I'll tell you, it's just gorgeous. Okay, so I'm deliberately not trying to get full coverage. I'm just trying to get it to be textured, a little bit even, but not necessarily worried about it. And now I'm going to come in, and I keep saying this, but I don't do it. Let's bring in this copper, but at first I gotta make some noise in there. So I'll do bubbles. Boy. And maybe letters. I'm just grabbing the things from beside me. Let's do the bubbles first. Oh, I ended up smearing those. That's okay. That might be the new favorite thing, and I didn't know it until I tried it, huh? But I do know that I think I want, and I'm going to do this upside down. This paint is still wet, so I'm going to add a little bit of that paint in there, right? So I'll do that, and I'll do that. Pull it up, bring it over to here, do that, and that, and that, and then there, and then one more down here. Okay, so we have some letters in there. We have some dots. We have a bit of a scrapey smear because I'm clumsy. So be it, is what it is. I have this copper here that I was using on that other one that I'm going to now lay down here, and I'm going to smear that in there. It won't cover much, but it'll be there a little bit. Won't be enough to cover the whole thing. That's okay. Just trying not to waste paint and utilizing what we already have. Okay, so now, woo, that's pretty. Now, let's see about if I have, this is probably the deepest purple I have, and I'm thinking I'm just going to throw a hint in here, the way that I would with the orange, right? She was saying instead of green, do the purple. This is a bit of a transparent, it's not very opaque. I used 8 glue sticks yesterday, so now I have enough lids to make a circle to, wow. You'll have to, did you do it in a video? Because I don't know what you're talking about, girl. I'd like to know. There we go. So we just added a little bit of purple, an accent of purple. And we have our letters in there, which I might have rolled over a little bit. That happens. Let's try some triangles. Because why not? They're my favorite thing. They're not triangles. They're diamonds. And I'm a bonehead for always thinking that. Anyways, I'm going to put clear on there and then pull it off on this because I want to make an art journal out of it. But I'm going to get rid of all this paper so I can get my brayer really, really clean. Really, really clean. And then I'm going to find my clear, which is the Liquitex Gloss Medium. Gluing the lids to cardboard to make a tool. Like, oh my gosh, that's so awesome. I can't wait to see that. Oh my gosh, that that's a lot of glue sticks. That's so cool though. So now I'm just using clear so that everything you see on there will pretty much be what we have. Some of the white will show through and we'll figure it out afterwards, but we have our colors that we're hoping we'll work together along with our textures and layers. Are you going to do jelly plating on your channel, Deb? I would show up. That would be awesome. All righty. Okay, here we go. This one's, oh, what is wrong with me? I was going to pull this up with that book cover. The next thing I do, no matter what, you know what it is? It's just I do things out of habit now. Oh, wow. Look at that. Look at that. Oh, that's so beautiful. Oh, that's right, the wedding dress. Yes, and that's good that you're doing what you need to do first. I did that with the market. That's why it wasn't until January that I came back to YouTube to do jelly plating, because I had to get the market done. I had made a commitment, and it was just really important that I finished it. Okay, so I'm going to do what? I'm going to try this color here. Oh, I always gravitate towards this one. Let's try this one instead. This is Palmetto. And why I'm doing this light of a color is because I really want the colors that are on there to be the show. All right, so I'm just going to grab these, move them around. And hopefully those other colors behind there will show up in the way that we were seeing them. But we're going to do the book cover. So I have this one we could do, but I was thinking I would do this one. Right. So let's put this one down first. Just like that. And then this one down next, just like that. And then we will roll them. Let's see what we get. So these are just cracker boxes that have been prepared with gesso cut to be journal covers. Art journal covers is basically, I used to make a lot. I have like 3 or 4 correspondence journals, and I want to do that again too. But what I'd like to do too is have an art journal. A friend of mine exposed me to Berber von Gorg, something like that. Oh, she does the most beautiful art journals. Very inspiring. Oh my goodness. I love it. It needs more. It definitely needs more. But you guys, this is really dreamy. Really dreamy. I might do envelopes. Oh, wow. I really... Oh, don't run. Come back. Oh, I like that. That's very dreamy. Okay, so I have a couple of envelopes that are the kind of envelopes that are return envelopes. And I'm going to just try to have some fun with the leftover paint. And then I'm going to probably get going, ladies. I did journal or jelly plating in the group last night too. And if you're interested in newbie junk journal makers, check us out. See if we would fit into your life. But yeah, that's fun too. Wow. See, that's the crazy thing. This is what I want to express, is we went from this, right, to this. No, wait. To, which one did we do next? Anyways, we did all of these. We did more than that. And look at them. They all are from, you can see a little bit of this from here. You can see a little bit. This one is what made all of these so fabulous. That's why it's important to be patient and layer and have a little bit of foresight to know that you don't, that if you're going to leave what you're leaving on the plate, make it be able to flow together to create the next project, right? Whatever that may be. I'm going to go ahead and warm this up and try to, there we go. Look at that. Isn't that, see, and that's beautiful to me. That, oh, that melts my heart, because it's like this earthy, botanical, beautiful goodie. This I just love. It's just, that's my jam. So, and then we have these envelopes. We have the book cover, which I'm not sure what I would have to do to this, but I'm going to have to do something because I can still see some of the writing. So I'll remember next time to only work with this side and then cover this side with paper. But I thought I did a book cover that I sat over here that I could bring back, but this is the one that we pulled up after the really dark purple. This one right here. So that was our flow today. It was a gorgeous flow. This was what was done earlier in the day. And when I was doing the pastel feel, because we started from this. We did some distress sprays. And we created these envelopes and this print. But I'm not seeing my book cover, but it's around here. Oh, here it is. See, I didn't even remember what it looked like. That's partially why I didn't see it. But this one was dark. Remember, we pulled this one up with black. And I'll be able to layer up on this a lot and have a lot of fun with this. I think that's going to be a really awesome art journal cover. I just got to maybe do some mixed media on it. Oh, the second purple, this one, I agree. The thing is that I want everyone to understand, even if that's not your thing, you sometimes have to get to this level before you can go backwards and get that one and that one and that one. You see what I'm saying? Because monoprinting is a layering process. You just have to go through it, and you have to have fun with it, and then you'll get excited about what you get done. Don't ever look at a print and go, oh, that's not my favorite, because that may be the one that created the next one that is your favorite. So everything it needs to be done, right? But keep in mind your dark colors, your light colors, and how you want them to look when you pull it up. You see the difference here? This one needed to have some light in it. This one needed to have something that said, I'm deep. This looks very flat. But that's what happens when you put a lot of strong, vibrant colors together. You have to bring in, sometimes, see, for a long time, I didn't like orange. I didn't like neon green. I didn't like the just golden yellows. They weren't my thing. But when I put them together with the colors I love, and they make my colors that I love stand out and be vibrant, then I'm happy. So that's why I got into, and look at this. This is because we put that green in there. And I so am thankful to Deb for doing that for me. And then some of the others I did the other day with the black, that really helped me get a better, I'm really thankful that you guys come over and watch and share your opinions. And thank you for Minka for the silver tip. I appreciate that. And I'm going to let you guys go. Thank you so much. It's been fun. I'm going to say goodbye. This one is those last ones. Bye-bye. There was a lot of good prints today, Deb. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me. I appreciate it. Bye-bye.